Master.
Clebali suo me koyo ake Sktv benyo. Se ma cheni tina ke ase ma jamu. Engi sano muni emu aye yo. Engi lofa muni emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I saw ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I saw ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget now ya to money. That's the TV, and I forget it now. Toss you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and outside of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time, and the efforts are red. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather, Nima to Lufa. From Riverside, River G to Chile. From Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Monserrat, San to Bacalu. From Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Sktv, it is the best in Liberia. Sktv, it is the best in Africa, and Sktv, it is the best around the world. So, folks, what a way to say the pleasant good evening to all of you, our dear channel listeners, especially those of you that are always burning your batteries and all your data, and in making sure that you follow all of our broadcasts, all of our live events, and so forth. I want to say many thanks to all of you. We don't even know how to appreciate you, even though some of you respectfully disagree with us, and also that's the beauty of life. Don't see it like, oh no one have control over ideas and so forth, or maybe over things back to the way you think and so forth. No, so we all will come here. We all will come here for one goal, and the goal is for Liberia, right? I don't know, maybe some of you that get 2-3 countries, maybe you have another goal, but for some of us will come here. We come here for goal for Liberia. That means for Liberia will be better. We come here to discuss Liberia. We come here to talk about the forward march of our country and the prevailing situations, things that are affecting our people, and so many things. These are things that will come here to talk about, how the livelihood of our people will get better. The children, they will go to good school. The children will see themselves like, okay, at least today I'm opportune today to sit in a comfortable chair, or maybe even to sit in a very good environment, or even a decent class, or maybe the classroom, but when we come here, some of you want to partake and talk about your uncle, your godfather, you look for godfather, godmother, god auntie, you look for all of them. That's it. We here. And so you share the show. The monk already said, share the show, like and comment. That's the best thing to do. So we're going to recognize a few of our people. Those of you who are watching, please just leave a comment. Yes, indeed, leave a comment there. And yes, so today the 28th of May. For a matter of fact, we have nearly how many more days to go? For now, the Saturday. So for now, the Saturday, we will be saying bye-bye to the month of May, and hopefully by Sunday, which will be the 1st of June, we'll be welcoming the 6th month. Wow. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. The life, it is indeed interesting. Time wait for no man. And myself, while we're talking about time, will come here. Some of you take it for a joke. Don't keep the people daughter for a long time because time wait for no man. That's the reason you see when we're to be talking to be blasting our sister because they said that the men and waste their time. After 10 years, all your time and wasted, your juice, everything. And I'm looking. The politicians will eat our time, eat our energy, eat our juice. And then we see you now looking so old now. They say, oh, man, but you're old. You're not got nothing again to show that you're the one sport the country. That will be tomorrow. That's why we don't want this thing. But again, let's try to show people. But Ali already yet, Ali Masale, Monk will be joining us very, very soon. And that's true. The thing I say, so we will lead the team. Someone will get old. Tomorrow, our children will say that we don't want to corner their opportunity. Oh, if daddy, I don't want to hear you. Daddy, you know these children now. You know when they too smart, it can be easy. Hey, daddy, I don't want to hear you. You people are the one that if it's corner our opportunity, you spoil our future. You spoil. Go. What the future spoil? But then my part of future get damaged. So people, let's share the show. Mustafa Balo, Robert Fasulu, Jacqueline Indim, Dixon, yeah, and Brazilian Monk, also watching Sebastian William, and the rest of you that are watching, your comment. Trust us, we're going to read all your comment. But Ali Masade already, yeah, one monk doing some setup. Ali, what's up, my brother? Good evening. And I know either in the morning or maybe afternoon.
Yeah, maybe good afternoon from my end. It's just 7 minutes after 2. How are you? How's Mama Labira?
Well, I'm doing great. Thank God for life. And Mama Liberia is okay, apart from all of the disagreements, and other disagreements, holding and pulling accusations, alleged accusations. Who want to do this? Who want to do that? Who empower? Who not empower? Opposition, political position, imposition, and everything. But we're good to go, my brother. We're part of the hard, I don't know, influence of the U.S. rates and so forth. But we are good to go. You know, the program, some of the football game, right? They can say, we are good to go. Even when they will beat you, just say we're good to go. So I give
That's
my
it.
brother good to go.
Hey, my man, we can't give up. We have to keep pushing. Yes, yes. We here, my man. Just since today, just raining everywhere. It's wet and cold. But that is it. But everything is okay so far, so good from my end.
Oh, man, dear, but I don't know whether we can start first with social quickly while we wait for the other team members and while other people are sharing the show. At least let's be able to hit around 400, then we'll go straight to our topic. So, yeah, I don't know whether you have any social issues that maybe that you observe or recent. Maybe something happened and maybe you want to tell us socially.
No, so far, I just saw something today, just I can say 2 hours ago, which was like 12 o'clock at my end here. And when I saw also one guy called Sylvester Chudo play for Spoon Network, and he was interviewing people in the street there about this same issue we discussed here the last time pertaining to this religious holiday. And one thing that really got me speechless was where you see most of those interviewers, they were just like, oh, let Muslim people go to Guinea. This is not a Muslim country. Let them go to Guinea. Everybody continue saying they see things Liberia a Christian principle or country that were built on a Christian principle. So if Muslim people want holiday, they should go to Guinea. Why should people be having this mindset that only Madingo people they are the only Muslim that in Liberia? And in fact, when you're talking about the 16 tribes in Liberia, Madingo are part of the 16 tribes in Liberia. You see, and they are all citizens. Madingo people been in our country for a hell of a long time, and they are part of the 16 tribe. People are talking if Madingos were not in Liberia, you are never going to hear about Muslim being in Liberia. So all of the countries in the world where they have Muslim or that Madingo carry Islam there, so Liberia we too small for this and people had to stop it. You see, this whole time of religious holiday, for other people it's good for them, but for me it make no sense. We been living like that. Then next week Friday, Abraham Day, we close all of our businesses, take our cars, we go pray and enjoy ourselves. We don't care. We've been living like that for a very long period of time. So for people to say they want to have religious holiday and people they are not, they say religious holiday, not just Muslim. But when they hear about Muslim in our country, it's just like you pour fire on the gas, or you pour gas on fire, or something like that. And that's not good. I'm a Muslim. I was born in Liberia, everything. So if they're talking about religious holiday, meaning that I should go Guinea, if that's the only Muslim country in the world. So it really got me thinking today the mindset of some of our people. And as I said the last time, the senators, they should be thinking about something that will make impact on the lives of we, the Liberian people. Having religious holiday, it means nothing to Liberians. Right now, things that are happening in the country, people cannot afford to even say get food, stable electricity, teachers' salary, doctors, nurses. These are things they should be discussing. We have so many holidays. They should be thinking how to color some of these holidays than to be talking about religious holiday. And you see people in the street there, everybody attacking Muslim as a Muslim. They are not people that belong to Liberia, or Muslim when they belong to Mandingo, and Mandingos, they are not Liberians. So far, that's the only thing I really got my whole lunch sour in my mouth this afternoon.
Thank you. Even though I gave you time so that you can talk about it before you forget, but I was asking you about social issues. But again, since you already finished telling us exactly about some of the trade national issues that maybe that caught your attention, that's good. It's good that that will bring out some of these things so that our people can know exactly that where we're heading to as a country, and the kind of society that we live in, or the kind of culture that we find ourselves in. Because mind you, we all live in the same community. We all live in the same neighborhood. We all live in the same city. We all live in the same village, and we all live in the same country. So to see ourselves behaving like the way we are behaving, hitting on each other, trying to bring each other down, and fighting hard to show supremacy, who on this, who not on this, or who on that. And in fact, all of these things for me, every time when I listen to these things, myself, I read some of the comments and so forth. And I think we will take one of these days and also discuss what's the issue really with the entire Muslim Mandingo and so forth that people really have. Maybe that's some of the people, maybe they will come out like, I think I can say, because one the color say, oh, they can't allow us to marry to their sister or maybe to their children or this and that. Maybe we will be able to solve the problem among always saying that in fact we not only come to talk politics, because some of these are issues. And the issues, since we have the platform already, we have to bring the things out to our people so that they can know exactly what the issue like. How can you not want to see Melbourne? What happened? What the issue that you really have with Melbourne? Let us know. Then we will know. We all, I think, that we'll go back to the Palava Hut and be able to solve out some of the issues, solve some of the problems, and have a very friendly environment instead of us calling and pulling every time. By the time you hear one name, other people get sour, their whole entire or they get spoiled, or another one hear about one religion, so forth. Then other people feel that in fact they are the worst and so forth. I think we got a fun time. By the way, thank you for bringing that up to our attention. Mark, my brother, what say you? Everything? How the Wednesday?
Not bad. We're doing great here. Even though the weather is not perfect here, but we take it. We're in the Midwest. The inconsistency is something we are used to. But we take anything that come our way. But anyway, it's good to be on Sktv. Today we'll continue our series on the people in politics from yesterday, except from a whole different angle. I think it was Luis that came up with the idea yesterday. I called it the mirror equation. Like when you look in the mirror, you are standing before the mirror. The mirror is the object. You are also an object. The only difference is you got certain attributes that make you different from in science, they say you are the mirror is a non-living thing, you are the living thing, but technically we are all objects, and except we are a higher form of object with a lot of complex thinking and faculties. That's what separates us from animals. But Louis said something yesterday, and you were the one that decided that we should do some deep dive into the subject matter to tell, because when you look in the mirror, there is something that reflects in the mirror, right? So the question is, who is the mirror in the case of Liberia? The voters or the public official or public servant, either way you want to call them. So we're here from the audience today as to who happens to be the real mirror in Liberia. Are the voters the mirror in thinking that politicians are the mirrors, or are the politicians the mirror while thinking that the voters are the mirror? I think that's what we delve into, and that's about it. So far so good, Melbourne. I think Melbourne is off the screen. Ali, you hearing me? Oh, Melbourne is still there. I think Ali is the one that is off.
Yes, I'm here, Monk. I get you loud and clear.
Yes, we are heading in that direction, but we ain't there yet. I think I seen 370 from my screen. Usually
Yeah,
we hit
myself,
the
I'm
format.
sharing. I'm also sharing while you do the talking.
Oh yeah.
Maybe talking about our topic and so forth,
Mhm.
our thing that we'll be discussing today. So
Okay.
people, please just share. I think you just listen to Mark and exactly that what will be look. Sometimes we'll come here now because the issue of who to blame and everything. I think
Yeah,
we'll just look for
we
all of
tire
the
you to blame. Go
good.
ahead.
So all of these things that we'll be doing here is just about how can we find solution to all of these things.
Mhm.
Who we think, like Mon just stated, who we think that have the power to say, okay, since this is the way and this is how things been happening, we're going to do it this way and see how things going to work out. Because mind you, all of our politics that we do in the country is just about blame shifting. If
Oh
you dare, you protect. If you know more there, you share blame.
yeah.
If you That's the kind of society that we live in. And guess what? The majority of the people suffer. The
Yeah.
children, the young people, they suffer. People are finding their way out of their country illegally just because they want to live better life, Monk. People are moving from place to place just because they think that there's no opportunity here for them. So what they can do is to either stay out of the country and
Mhm.
find themselves somewhere else where maybe they think that maybe that they'll get better life. That's why people are playing TV. Look, let me tell you, if somebody making 500 USD per month, and in fact they get car, they get everything, mom, who want to go play TV?
Not nobody. I mean, even if you come to the Western world, that's why when I came to this country, it took me a while to figure it out. And the thing they call migration, immigration is as old as a human species. Even if you read your Bible from biblical time, anywhere there are economic opportunity, people always migrate to this era. That's why Europeans left from Europe, they came to America in search of a new land. That's why slavery was all about. Great economic power put people into slavery to gain some kind of a benefit. And that's just how it been. When you read the Bible, Abraham was a refugee. He took Sarah to Egypt because at the time, the Egyptian empire, they were flourishing. So the people from Israel, they used to go to Egypt in search of better living. That's just how it is. So the refugee or immigrant program that's in biblical days is as old as a human species. And whenever there is an opportunity somewhere, people always migrate to the area because it's just natural. It's just part of the human instinct that you want better living, you want better life for yourself. You want to give yourself an opportunity to progress in life. That's why when I came to America, when I studied the system for some time, I said, you know what? America, even though they call it an immigrant nation, I agree with that, but I agree with that partially because the one thing that I noticed, countries that are doing well economically or social economic or progress or where they got social mobility, you don't see them yet too much. You won't come to America and you see a bunch of Japanese. Not really. You won't see a bunch of South Korean. I've never been to any job to see a bunch of Libyans or maybe people from Singapore, no, or Germany. Even though some of their fathers immigrated to this country, but you will find out that people from poor country are the one that in the vast majority, like Liberia, the poorest country in the world. Even Asia, you come here, you see the Hmong people, the Laos, the Cambodian, because those countries are the poorest of the poor in Asia. So the countries that are doing better economically, you don't see them here in huge number. And it just tells you that whenever you create a better situation for the country, people won't migrate, they will decide to stay there. Melbourne, let me give you an example. Sometimes people don't pay attention to that, right? Of all the countries around Liberia, when you come to America, I'm not saying Ivorians are not here, but you don't find too many Ivorians there, like where you find Nigerian, Guineans, Ghanaian, Liberian, right? And Africa is not the richest country in the world, but they got basic services in Africa that make that people to stay. They hate to travel too. They don't like traveling. And why you think that is the case? They got better infrastructure, even though they are not perfect. When it comes to food production, they are very high in food production. So once you afford people basic services, they tend to stay where they are getting those services. They won't migrate. The reason you can see people jumping on floater to cross the Mediterranean Sea to go to Europe, some of them would die 400, 300, come from Gambia and the other poorer countries because the economic opportunity are not there, and that's just why it is. So, my brother, let me stop there for now. You know, I hate talking too much.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mark. But I don't know quickly what are some of the maybe trading news that caught your attention, because for me, I'm seeing no salary for 5 months from the Verity newspaper that the people from the War Crimes Court there in fact they've been complaining that in fact there are no salaries. In fact, out of the folks there, they haven't been taking pay for the past 5 months. For me, that what caught my attention. But I don't know about you. I don't know what are some of the 20 national issue quickly that caught your attention before we move into our topic, because Ali just explain about what call is attention, and I don't know why you follow that, but again, move on,
Yeah,
my brother.
I follow that segment. I think we'll talk about that. The only reason we keep dwelling on the things, like I will always say, is because we subscribe to sectarianism, tribalism. We are not nationalists. When you are nationalist, you think country. When you are sectionalist, you think tribe, you think religion. For me, I'm a Christian. I practice the Christian faith, but I don't believe in religion. Christianity, like I always say on the show, is not a religion, even though people can tell me as religion. It's just a lifestyle that we imitate a particular figure that once existed in history, God in the form of man, what we call the Trinity or the Amango D, if you want to term it that way. And that's why it following the life of Christ. That's what Christianity is. It's not a religion. But whenever you come up with something great, people will always try to find a way to come up with a negative version of that. So the whole thing about Christian, Muslim, Buddhists, and Hindus and Confucianists, I always said, is man-made vehicle in understanding the divine. But if you really know God, if you study the attribute of God, then you will want for your life to reflect God. So you won't focus that much on religion. The thing is, it's almost like a car and a destination, maybe. The car is just a vehicle to get to your destination. But we are all trying to serve God, right? God is the destination, right? It's not the religion, but the religion is just an interpretation as to how you understand God. That's what religion is all about. Religion is not God. God never imposed religion on mankind, right? It was human being that put religion on himself. Even Jesus never mentioned the word Christianity in your whole 33 years of ministry on planet Earth, right? It was men that came up with the idea of religion. So if you really want to understand God, then you will look towards spirituality. I'm not saying you cannot practice a particular religion, but it's not a goal. Religion is never the goal, and it has never been, and it will never be the goal. At the end of the day, you want to be right with God. Howsoever you call him, whether you call him Allah, whether you call him Yeshua, whether you call him Christ, whether you call him they got some name, they got the quantum physicists, how they got the name, they call it whether the divine or something. Either way you want to call him, at the end of the day, it's the same phenomenon. It's just we, the ones that keep looking for a way to tear our own society down and bring our country down and bring our fellow men down in the name of religion. But if you study God himself and you want to be in right standing with God, then you will do the things that reflect spirituality. You will love your neighbor. You won't be corrupt. You won't kill. You won't do things that prevent you or that will stop you from getting closer to God. That's just how I see it. But that's Liberia. People think like, oh, everybody got their own way of interpreting things. So for me, I don't have a problem with religion. I don't care which religion you practice. The same way I don't care about people's background. It was just recently was asking people for the trap. When I was going on like, bro, I could care less about your trap. When we go play soccer, we don't even know. I got a bunch of friends that I know. I don't even know which tribe they came from. But in recent time, my brother, it's almost like people are wearing the tribal thing like a badge of honor. That's just why it is. You want to know the man.
And my brother, I just stated not too long. I told Brother Ali that I think we'll find one day, maybe over the next week, and see where we how can we even maybe arrive at this point where people will be asking people of their tribe, like you just said them, and you're right, Monk. People now believe in tribe. Like for example, Monk, if you are Kwele and you are maybe the president appoint you to maybe the Ministry of Public Work. That means we the better people that want.
You enter the ball at the Public Work Ministry.
Yeah. What? Mom, it's exactly what you just said, my brother. That's the fact. Yeah. People now and then when you go to various ministries, agencies, the government areas, those people who maybe control some of the places along the for a specific trap. My brother, just go there. Almost 80% of the workforce there will be on that trap. What kind of life is that?
That's just why it is. But look at even how they call it the last time we even said how to report on the show that we talk about in detail about how they call it got Cooper crowd, right? But the people that he talked to the ministry, almost like 90% of them from Nema County. And it's what happening in every other ministry. Once you are in a position of power, only your people, and then that the country cannot grow. It was one of the reasons I think it was you, Sekou, myself that on the show. I stress about the county meet. In as much as the county meet is entertaining, right? The underlying cause behind the county meet, it does not serve a national interest. Because you find people that are more enthusiastic about the county meet than the national team. The national team represents the whole country. The county meet only represents your county. But when the national team play in Liberia, I bet you more than half of the country won't even know that national team is playing on a particular day. But look at the kind of euphoria that can be around the country me. Even though there is no benefit, but stay.
Mark, and that look, so to brother Aliu, I think we'll tell one that you're right, because this thing for me, like I said, my brother, these things are troubling. Let me be fair, Mark. Some of us here, we get a lot of information, even to the government agencies and that ministries. Those people who are controlling the places, my brother, along the front. For example, if the crime man or maybe the minister, maybe from or maybe general ministries, they put in here from Grand, that means at what time?
Yeah.
I may want to know if I'm not be anyone. I should go there and go say, oh, you know, I'm from Grand. Oh, so enough of qualification, about I'm from Grand, or maybe I'm from Lofa.
Yeah, and that's how we keep voting on national elections. That's why I say with this kind of a trend, we can never get the result that we need. Because if you set the kind of a president, then it means you are only putting yourself in the box. Because at the end of the day, it might look like you are winning in the short term, but in the long term, only the country become impacted, right? Only the country will hit that negative slack. Because maybe, let me tell you something. We never choose the parents we were born to, or the tribe we came from, or which part of the country we hail from, right? Okay. But if we are all having the nationalist spirit about being a Liberian, if Liberia will be the first thing that comes to your mind whenever you say a Liberian, then you will start doing things in a whole different way. But if you're going to limit it to your child, okay, let's assume I come to Liberia, right? And I want to undertake a project, and that project requires an engineer. Are you going to tell me that because I'm a Southeasterner, even though a Southeasterner engineer, I know he's not qualified for the job, I should hire him just because he's another Southeasterner? Is that what you want to tell me?
Exactly, Monk. No, that's why this country is not moving forward. Let me be forward to the Monk. And you know, brother, I just say these things. But brother, don't get vexed. Leave this thing, my brother. No, chill. That's the society now that you find yourself in. And that's the kind of country we live in right now. So we will find the reason why these things are happening. Maybe we'll follow by next week, but go ahead, my brother. Maybe
let me just make one more point. The whole issue of the Burkina Faso, right, coming in the southeastern region, right? I mean, region, other part of the country that they are taking over. You don't see too many resentment, right? And by right, all over the world, it's just part of human nature. Those are the people who will be standing our anger and resentment too. But we are more tribalistic that we forget about the bigger picture. Because at the end of the day, whether you come to America, I want to reason I don't subscribe to certain policy in this country, because I know the first thing you got to be a nationalist. You must love your country first. The second thing is sovereignty and border. If you don't have a border, you don't have a country. And it is your right. That's why every country in the world has an immigration system in place. You must know who's entering the country and who's leaving the country. But how often do you see people calling the show and being mad about Burkina Faso? But let it be again crying Gio or Sapo and Mano or that's when you will see the resentment, because for them it's limited to the tribe. They're not thinking about the country. Liberian overseas, was it Liberian back home, native in Congo? These are the things that can draw the resentment, rather than putting their anger and frustration on people from different countries that are exploiting that country illegally. No, they're not mad with that one, because for them, Liberia is not a goal. The tribal land or the tribe is the goal. That's just what it is.
Brother Ali, what say you from there, brother? And
Mabel, Brazilian more go after me, my brother. Yes, you said something that when people in Liberia they making up to $500 and they have their own cars, they won't even say thing about traveling or coming to Liberia, and that's the fight. My big brother, may his soul rest in peace. 2020 when I went to Liberia, I had an opportunity here to bring my brother, and he was like, "When am I going to do in America?" Because he was doing his business, he get his car, he in your compound. Anything he want to eat, he won't scratch his head to say, "Oh, I want to eat this, I don't have it." And he was living in Liberia like he living the best of life. I did anything, he said, "No, I'm not coming over there. Maybe I can only come for visit, where I can stay in that country." So these are some of the things. There are people, they don't, if they had that kind of opportunity, they won't think about coming to America or traveling to leave the country. But if you can see people making $150, $125, $90, $80, so at the end of the day, you will see everybody want to leave the country. Like when our brothers and sisters was in Oman, when they were treated under slavery, when I was advocating to get Liberians back home, along with the counselor in Dubai. I was one of the advocates on that thing to get Liberians back home. Our sister will go to bed 12 o'clock and they wake up 4 o'clock, they start working. They only sleep for 4 hours. Why? Because of our leaders. These are some of the things. You think if people are getting well paid, they get time for traveling. When I came to America, a lady saw me at work. She said, "Where you came from?" I said, "Africa." She was like, "What you came to do here?" Because they know Africa, we get all the resources. People go, they take these resources. Like one girl, they call Christine. She said, "I hate America because they are the one that get Africans suffering. They will take all of their resources from them. They call them poor country. They want them to bow down to them." You see, because our leader, this is what they subscribe to. They only want to enrich themselves. They don't care for us. So at the end of the day, everybody wants to travel to live a better life. And today, you see some of our brothers and sisters, they are in other countries around the world undergoing modern slavery. So that's just it there. The people are getting well paid, good job, besides government job, the private sector. Nobody will think about traveling. But that's the period for us. As I said, we continue to pray till the day God ready to send all the best leaders.
Indeed, my brother. Thank you. So, all of these things are embedded into our discussion for today. Those of you who just joining us, this is the Sktv show, the May week edition, Wednesday today, the 28th of May, and we have so many things that we're talking about already. To include, in fact, our topic, I guess, maybe to those of you who just coming at the question of the day: who are the real mayors? The people or politicians? Because every time when we shift the blame on the politicians do say, "Oh no, the kind of people you have voted for, the people suffering all that day." So they blame just both ways, back to back, that continue to lead us into a severe poverty that even there no upgrade. I think in one of the newspaper, also that same newspaper that carry the worker and corporate not taking no, the country just the worker and corporate, the same newspaper, according to their analysis and other statistics, they said that 67.6% of Liberians are offline. That means they are not using the internet. They are not active on the internet. Only 32.4% that get access to internet. So you hear that? All of you who talking every time we come here, you will waste all of our time and other energy when we come here to educate you. All you think about is your politics and party. So today, yesterday we started with that. Politics and people and politics. Because mind you, the reason why you go into politics, that we always say, "Oh yes, it's interest." For us right now, we are not, in fact, we haven't reached to among in your side, or in fact to your side, you discuss this issue that far. You people even talking about road network, this and that, and all those kind of things. No, but all you people discuss is about the economy, how to control the war, how to control this, and how to control, not just about for us here, even to build toilet is still on our agenda. Can you imagine, to build toilet is still on our agenda. To build hut, this maybe Palava hut, where our people will go there to have their meetings, is still into our agenda. So where do we go? Now the questions is, after our focus and attention be placed in making the right decision, and where should our focus, where should our focus and attention be placed in making the right decision? Into all of this, and what we are saying today is that politics and people, maybe we'll break it down so some of you so you can understand. Politics and people, you call on this show for us here, maybe friend. Even if you have interest in politics or maybe in somebody, there are issues confronting, or there are issues affecting the livelihood of our people. If for example, Monk is your candidate, and you have maybe you love most of the other, even over Liberia, like most of us here, we pretend. That's why when there are national issue, let's pray for Liberia, that's fake. You want us to pray for Liberia because you are there, because you are seen as the mayor, the Monk said, because you are seen as the person in front of everything. So that's why you want us to pray for Liberia. But if you know more there, you won't say this thing that you're saying. And that's the fact. So national duty, love for country, love for your people, love for yourself in everything you do at the end of the day is interest. Monk, let's go back. Yesterday, we started with all of the videos and that of photos and so forth.
Yeah, the photo, put that photo on the screen. That photo is deep. It's deeper than people think it is. Yeah, so
Yes,
maybe I will
good.
discuss the picture behind the screen because what I saw in that photo, I didn't see Liberian case. I saw Liberia as a country sitting on the floor, and that will be the case maybe 20 or 30 years from now if something is not done urgently. That's just how I interpreted that particular image. Yeah, because that's the
More,
future.
sorry, make one want to ask you a question quickly. Can you hear me there? Mabon?
Yes, I'm getting it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to know what's the problem with the internet in Liberia, because quite recently we saw the people digging PHP, they said, or shape key to face the cable to put them in the right position, because there were certain structure to the PHP that was making the internet not to be stable. But for almost 2-3 days, I'm seeing a terrible internet problem in the country. What's happening again? Why the people they didn't do the work?
Well, my brother, good question. You know, we live in a country where it's like the leadership, they can only maybe communicate with the people when there is tension, you know, or maybe when they want to do something, but no communication. So we just live the way the people want us to live. So for me, I don't have much idea to tell you that yes, indeed, they have done the work, they've been completed and so forth. But as far as we are concerned, we live the way the people want us to live. So even if you have data, they are no different than they between the one they call the free basic and that. Even if you have even active or maybe credit or internet, or maybe when you have data into your phone, because you will continue to be restarting or maybe cut off your phone, put it on, do this, do that, like you are completely living in hell. Mr. Cannon call me. Just imagine Mr. Cannon myself were talking before I counted myself, but I already off. All the things I was talking, Mr. Cannon, let me hear me, Mr. Cannon go off everything. I don't even know. When I to go check myself and come to, I said, but how come I'm just talking and Mr. Cannon let me talking. Now Mr. Cannon go off everything and let me know. So that's the kind of thing. So when you tell me that I'm not getting you and you are not getting me, but like maybe you are not taking notice. I said, wow. So that's the story, my brother. I don't really know as to how far all of this thing gone. And let me be frank, I think the rescue or they got to come out and tell the public, tell the Liberian people exactly what's going on with all of the internet issues, because they use these things as campaign. And how come you remain silent? So my brother, I don't know yet, but anyway, hold on, Mark. I think Mr. Cannon also just joining us. Yes, so Mr. Cannon, good evening and welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Milborn. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. Oh, it's just like you were talking to me then. I'm not even getting you.
that that's Lavua right there. I was talking. That's why I ended up writing you instead of talking, because I know you were not hearing me. I was hearing you, but then it came to a point where your whole system just went off, and it looks like you were talking by yourself, but I wasn't hearing anything. Yeah, yeah. But how's everything? And how's the family? How's SKTV baby and our wife? How everybody doing? What's going on
Well,
in
we're doing
Liberia?
great. So, Mr. Cannon, for us here, we are okay. Thank God for life. Liberia is good, apart from all of the politics, out of the, politics. You know, when they do politics, then they put politics, to confuse our people. So, yes, we are great, apart from the U.S. rate that keep going up. I don't know how that's going to, maybe that probably going to be solved. But again, that's the kind of country we found ourselves in, but we are okay for now. And we in the hands of the rescuer. So maybe things will get better. So we got to hold on. We don't want to rush. We got to hold on. Well, what everything?
Yeah, so everything's good. I want to say hats off to Monk and Aliyu Masali. You know, gentlemen, it has been crazy. I've been following Liberia and Liberian politics, but I've come to realize that there are reasons why good people staying away from Liberia. I'm just being honest. People with integrity, people with moral, people that really mean well for Liberia, they are not welcome. We gravitate towards criminals. We embrace corrupt-minded people, people who are rude, people who are disrespectful, people who are insulting other people, people who with no integrity whatsoever, are the people we celebrate in Liberia. And you also come to realize that most of the big names that we can hear in terms of political actors, majority of the very few of them, majority of them have no integrity. Very few of them that actually they are respectful, they're respected, and they really mean well for Liberia. Most of them are bullies, cowards, and those who are giving the leadership in the country, they only in it for themselves. They care less about the country. They care less about the people. But then, those who also with the power to elect or to select who to lead them, they themselves are up to no good. So if you look at the country as a whole, you give up. To be honest, it seems like everything we're doing, everything we have been doing, everything people have been doing before us, everything falling on deaf ears. People care less about what you say. People care less about what's good for them, what's good for the country. They care less about the future of the country. They care less about their children. Like you guys were saying yesterday. People who are voting, they're not looking at tomorrow. They're not looking at themselves. And they're only looking at today. Even with their own future, they're not looking at tomorrow. They're only looking at what they get today to put in their pocket. Look at the country. Every day, corruption scandal, one after another. But yet, people have selective eyes, how they can see. Somebody will steal 10 million, 20 million, 5 million, but they will go ahead and celebrate that person. But another person goes steal more, they will burn that person alive. Good people will come in the country, they will come with good projects, they will come with all kinds of things that can make the country better. But we kick them out. We discourage them. We bully them. We call them names. So, to be honest with you, I am at the point where I don't have much to say to certain people. And also, I don't really care anymore as to who insult me, who caused my mom, who caused my pa. And not going to take anything away from me. I will continue to do what I got to do. Just as Ali said yesterday and more, so that history can judge all of us. But my expectation to say everything we're doing will change anything, I don't know when. And I'm not sure if it will ever change. Because the mindset is being destroyed completely. Nobody to look up to. Everybody, one way or the other, is corrupt. So that's something maybe I've been pondering on since yesterday and putting the pieces together. Sometimes I feel like there's no reason to even be talking. But again, if we all give up, then it could be worse than this. That's the only reason why they're keeping me, doing what I'm doing. But honestly speaking, Liberia is a failed nation. And we all need to pray and tighten our belt to see how well we can continue to fight. But our fight, I don't know whether it will yield any result. At least possible, positive result. I'm not sure when. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kane. I know how you feel. I know how everything going on with you. I know from your voice that I don't tell that indeed that you are highly frustrated. Someone posted on the internet. The person said, when you change the government, thinking that the past government was bad, that's why you change the government. and bring in the new government, the past government will be even far better than the new government that you even bring in. So I think that's what you just knew, and you just say everything. So that our topic here today. We're going to look into the mirror and see so who are we seeing in the mirror? Are we seeing ourselves, our commoners, or the politicians who continue to get rich at the detriment of the people? Like you stated, Mr. Khan, you're right. Nobody ever to try to make me frank. All the people, you see the one, the other one jumping here, them and there. Now waste of time. Complete waste of time. Because if you think that this person is far better and you bring them in and vote for them, only for them to come and tell you that, oh, you know, my one can't change things, my one can't do this. In fact, because even for what I'm saying right now, people that want to go, Koruba, they may not even talk anymore. That's the fact. People that want to go, Koruba, they may not even talk anymore. Yes. So, Mark, go ahead, and I think you seen the photo. Where's the photo? I think I try to play the photo. Okay, good. Yeah, so go ahead, Mark. Let me do a little adjustment. I think I'm getting a lot of feedback from
you. Kind of still on the show? Sekou stay around?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. If you got something else to say, you can say. I mean, I will come in, but I mean, you came late, so I won't give you that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I will listen. I'll come in when you're done.
I think we are saying, both of us are saying the same thing in a whole different way. It's the same idea that at a certain point in time, you want to throw in the towel, but then at the end of the day, if you throw in the towel, or if we all throw in the towel, even though it's frustrating, it's kind of mentally draining when you look at the reality on ground, then the people who want to keep the system that way, then they have won. You know, we cannot predict the outcome. And matter of fact, we are not even optimistic about the outcome based on the reality. But then again, when you look at the bigger picture, I think you are the one that encouraged me the last time. I said, but Mo, we all cannot give us. So when a guy like you start crying, and then almost like they are in a worse shape. Because at a certain point in time, I came to the same conclusion, and there are a lot of Liberians that have arrived at this conclusion that it just isn't worth fighting for. And you're seeing this thing happening every day, and the people themselves. That's why when Louis said it yesterday that when you change the old system and you bring new people, you get the same result. But when you look at that thing deeper, then you ask yourself, the fact of the matter is not just about changing, but who are you replacing them with? Because if you are trying to put square pegs in round hole, then you keep getting the same result. So it's not about change, it's just about who we are replacing the old players with. That I think that's where it comes down to. And to be able to do something differently, then it means we cannot look at the problem the way it is. Because let me give you a typical example. The last time I checked, both Nathaniel Magé and Imaya Nukwe were sanctioned. So if you are to go in an election and for hypothetical purposes, right? And a guy like McGill was the senator and wanted to replace McGill, and then you put Imaya Nukwe in place of McGill. How is that considered a change? You will never replace the player because they are both of the same characteristics, they share the same attribute. So whether you change one or another, you still get the same answer. The question is, it's not that we are changing politicians. The question is, who are we replacing the bad apples with? Because if we keep replacing bad apple after bad apple, then we are not going anywhere. It's the same thing that I keep talking about, this whole fight between where we try to limit Liberia to Unity Party and CDC. They are both bad apples. So you can never get better results, no matter how many times you swap them. And that's where the problem is, that's where the challenge is. And in order to get to this particular solution or to be able to address this challenge, then it means the people have to do a deep reflection. That's why I say in Liberia, the problem of leadership is not about education, it's just about choice. Because I know for sure these people know people that may be right for that country. The question is, I just don't think they are willing to allow those people. Because if you are saying that when we replace them, we get the same result, no, yeah, that's a statement. But in reality, who are you replacing them with? Okay, typical example, we came from CDC to the Unity Party. And you want to make a logical argument that we should come from Unity Party and go back to CDC. So how can you get a better result from that? And that's where the problem is. Are you doing the internal reflection or are you looking outward? Because for me, I don't think the politicians are the mayors. Because Louis' argument was, if you come from a broken society, then you cannot be a better leader. Because the leaders themselves, they are a reflection of the society. Okay, that's a legitimate argument to make. It's almost like if you got a broken mirror and you stand in front of a broken mirror that is shattered, you can see your real image. The mirror got to be clear, transparent, before you can see a reflection of yourself. So if you are telling me you cannot get better leadership from a broken society, then more than likely, the people themselves, the voters, or the people that make decisions for the country are the mirrors. But instead, We're looking at the mirror from a different angle, thinking that the politicians are the mirrors, and that's where the problem is. Until they
Yeah.
focus on that problem, then we're not going anywhere. Because
So, so,
we're
yeah, so Mo, that is exactly the point I was trying to make. I was trying to make earlier. When it comes to the idea of mirror, looking at the mirror, the problem in Liberia is not the politician. I've come to that conclusion 100%. The problem is our people themselves. Because it's one thing for you to bluntly, or for you to just support somebody based on the argument they're going to make to you, based on promises, based on the idea they're going to project that they will do. Monk, that is like somebody telling you something you think is possible, but you're not sure. But at least you will gravitate towards somebody who will present a better picture to you than somebody who will not say anything. But yet, after knowing that no, this is not what I really want, this is not what the country wants, this is not what will change our country, but yet you still go for the same thing based on partisan politics, based on tribalism, based on sectionalism, based on country solidarity, Melbourne and Mong and Ali. Trust me, then they are not the problem, because you already know that they are not capable of doing anything. But you keep going for the same kind of people every day. Remember, look at Liberia. Look at Liberia. Look at people who are celebrated in Liberia. I'm not trying to really create problem or pick on any guys, but look at Liberia. Prince Johnson was celebrated. George Bush celebrated. Look at those who are in politics. Look at those people who are bullying people on social media. Look at the ones that are celebrated. Look at Henry Costa. What kind of integrity do you think Henry Costa has? Zero. Look at Martin Colley, who survived on lying on people. He's being celebrated today. Look at Fufaki. What kind of country is that? And these people are celebrated by the so-called leaders too. People that you consider leaders, people that you think they can do something for the country. Their mindset is nothing about the country. It's about what goes to their pocket. It's about caving into bullies. It's about, what they can do to safely corrupt the country without being attacked by the bullies. So the country is just as useless as the war itself. Nobody to really depend on. Look at the people who celebrate Monk. Look at people who celebrate. Look at Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai lied about everything as president. He's lied before he became president. But look at now. By the time you call a name, people say, oh, you're insulting this person. You're insulting that person. Do you know how many times all these people I just mentioned, they have insulted good people? They have bullied good people? Do you know how long Costa took to bring down Alexander Cummings? Do you know how many years Prophet Key spent insulting Jowia's mother? So all the people are celebrated today by so-called leaders. What kind of country is that? So that's why when I said on today, I was watching Facebook. I look at 3 individuals. I'm being honest with you. I look at Prophet Key. I look at Henry Costa. I look at Martin Colley. All of whom supported Joseph Jima Boakai. I look at Eugene Fagon. I look at John Robonike. I look at all these people. and look at their character, their behavior, their activities for the past 10 years. And these are the people that people are celebrating in our country. Amen. And people who are celebrating them, they know that those people have no integrity. They are nothing. But yet the country itself is nothing at this point. So it's kind of discouraging. It's like a waste of time. It's like waste of time and energy, waste of resources, because people don't know how much of us spend to keep this show going. Our time and resources, our energy. So sometimes I get kudos to you guys, especially, Steve, Mong, Melbourne, and all our people. Sometimes when I'm giving you a tell me, no, say, we don't do that. It get to a point, I wanted to shut down Sktv. That was a long time ago. Steve told me, say, Mr. Kennedy, don't do that. There are a lot of people depending on us. There are a lot of people who really, really use Sktv as the only means of getting information. Some people use it to come and even express their anger, their frustration. It will close down. It will hurt a lot of people, especially good people. But honestly, as a person, I am not sure of the future of Liberia, because those who are supposed to effectuate that change are the people who continue to make bad decisions. 2029, you will see it again. People are not thinking about themselves, they're not thinking about their children, they're not thinking about any good thing about the country. Everybody just there celebrating stupid people, crazy people, bullies. For what? So for me personally, I don't know what's going to happen for the future, but I'm not sure if anything will change in Liberia anytime soon.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Kana. We have 2 more minutes to go for our news break. And let me say thanks to all of you, Aliu and that of Mark. Indeed, Mr. Kana, I think that's just the fact about this country. As you regularly said, I think we believe in bad people. We believe in people who steal our time, our life, who steal all of our resources. These are people who are always giving position, Mr. Kana. So that's just how I look. Even the classical example. Are you really seeing the civil society organizations, the back-to-back yesterday that were acting a bulldog, that were acting like, in fact, they were talking back-to-back yesterday? Are you really seeing any of them anymore? Are you seeing them around now? No. Because why? Most of them now, they are lobbying behind the scene to get a job. Most of them, they are lobbying to get something to... So that's the kind of society that we have, that people think that the best thing to do is to insult people, to bully people, to bring people down. That's the only way that maybe the people will like you and they will love you. And someone said that yesterday, that I think we got to go back into the rural communities and be able to pull the people back on track, because if the community is not better, Mr. Cannon, no matter what we do, a complete waste of time. And you're right. And we're getting there though. Let me be frank. Well, if you're not bad, or if you're not joining any of the group, either the one that coming out, can you imagine? Former leaders are now saying that they regretted for voting the other government in or out, just because now they want to get little attention, or they want to get little or maybe little bread from the current government. So that's the kind of life we live. But again, I go for the news break.
Yeah, so maybe quickly, just 30 seconds before we go for the news break. Just watch people named Joseph Boakai appointing in government. Just yesterday, Sandra Johnson, who served as representative, who served as senator,
Okay.
and then nothing, who was rejected simply because he went on the radio and said, anybody insult Joseph Boakai, he will insult your mind, he will insult your power. Joseph Boakai appointed him the next day.
Okay.
What kind of country is that? what kind of country is that?
Everybody looking for
Yeah.
some like it there now.
Milton Cheje served as senator for a very long time. He served as information minister, served all kind of capacity in Liberia. But when he became useless, people voted him out. Guess what happened? Joseph Boakai appointed him again because he came and running his mouth again. So what kind of people are these people? Yeah, man. I don't know, man.
It's painful, right? it's mind-boggling. Like it can just take the energy. Oh, we want to.
Good evening, RCN News Bulletin at 7. I'm Akita Roberts presenting. The Ministry of Health has officially discharged 4 Mpox patients following successful treatment and food recovery. Action Aid Liberia on Wednesday joined the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection in collaboration with several partners to commemorate World Menstrual Day in Monrovia. The Secretary General of the National Patriotic Party has officially distanced the party from the recent statement issued by Chairman George Moba and Brockton Dennis in defense of Senator Edwin Snow. Out of Liberia, the bodies of 11 people believed to have been migrants have been found inside a boat washed onto the shores of the Caribbean island of Carnival, which forms part of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. The Ministry of Health has officially discharged 4 Mpox patients following successful treatment and full recovery. The ministry said the patients completed all treatment and isolation protocols. In a statement issued on Wednesday, the Ministry of Health disclosed it has commissioned facility-based case management for Mpox at the National Infectious Disease Center after urban areas in Monserrado noted an upsurge of Mpox cases. The ministry said the National Infectious Disease Center provides medical, psychological, and nutritional support to Mpox cases. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry has extended appreciation to the gallant frontline workers, county health officers, and community partners for their unwavering commitment to containing the virus. The release quotes the ministry as saying the collective efforts of all patient partners continue to play a vital role in safeguarding public health and preventing further transmission. The ministry at the same time urged citizens, residents, community leaders, and healthcare workers to reinforce precautionary measures, including frequent hand washing, using soap and clean water or alcohol-based sanitizer, that's refrain from physical contact with individuals displaying symptoms such as rashes or fever, among others. The Secretary General of the National Patriotic Party (NPP) has officially distanced the party from the recent statement issued by Chairman George Moba and Brockton Dennis in defense of Senator Edwin Snow. Andrew Peters stressed that the views expressed by Chairman George Moba and Brockton Dennis do not reflect the official stance of the NPP. The Secretary General is therefore calling on Anthony George Moba and Brockton Dennis to retract their statements in support of Senator Snow. Peters maintained that the National Patriotic Party has never convened to discuss issues concerning the road between Senator Snow and the government of Liberia. He condemned the public statements made by Chairman Moba and Brockton Dennis as false and misleading, asserting that these comments do not represent the party's views. Andrew Peters has meanwhile urged all members of the National Patriotic Party not to be swayed by these statements and to remain unified in their support of the party's mission. Action Aid Liberia on Wednesday, May 28, 2025, joined the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection in collaboration with several partners to commemorate World Menstrual Day in Monrovia. The event emphasized the importance of women's empowerment and the prioritization of menstrual health, with a specific call for the removal of significantly reduction of tariffs on menstrual hygiene products. Celebrated another global team together for a period-friendly war with a national team empowering and prioritizing menstrual health for a dignified Liberia. The occasion was attended by government and non-government officials, students, and community residents. In her remarks, Action A Country Director Madam Elizabeth Barr Johnson highlighted the significance of the event, describing it as a platform to amplify the voices of girls and women who are often silenced by stigma, poverty, and systemic neglect, particularly regarding menstrual hygiene management. She disclosed that Action Aid works to strengthen the capacity of people living in poverty and exclusion, especially women, to assert their rights. Furthermore, she maintained Action Aid Liberia's collaboration with communities, organizations, women's movement groups and networks, social movements, and other allies to address the structural causes and consequences of poverty and injustice. She disclosed that research indicates more than 60% of schoolgirls in rural areas lack access to basic menstrual hygiene materials, a situation that forces them out of school monthly. Meanwhile, Action in Liberia has joined call to remove or significantly reduce tariffs on menstrual hygiene products, stating that such a policy decision will immediately improve the lives of thousands of girls and women, allowing them to stay in school, work, and live with dignity. Also speaking, Water Aid Liberia Health Advocacy Manager Matthew Dwell urged men across the country to remain supportive to females, especially during their difficult times of menstruation. Dwell maintained that they fight against discrimination, stigmatization, and other forms of unwanted acts melted against women due to menstrual period cannot be achieved without the involvement of men. He believes that men have a greater role to play in the fulfillment of such process. For her part, Deputy Gender Minister Laura Golake emphasized the significance of empowering females in the fight against menstrual stigmatization and other challenges. Deputy Minister Golake, among other things, highlighted the need for joint efforts with partners to provide menstrual hygiene kits to young girls and advocate for a policy change. The head of the Lutheran Church in Liberia has called on the Liberian Council of Churches to wake up from its slumber and engage in robust advocacy for the transformation of the country. Bishop Victor Palmer said in recent times, members of the Liberia Council of Churches have been silent on many ills prevailing in the Liberian society. Bishop Palmer made the assertion Wednesday when he delivered a sermon on the theme Wake Up and Work Wisely at the opening of the 35th General Assembly of the Liberia Council of Churches taking place in Painesville. In remarks, the Secretary General of the Liberia Council of Churches, Reverend Dr. Christopher Toll, encouraged members of the council to get on board rather than sitting on the fence to criticize the council. According to Reverend Toll, the Liberia Council of Churches is the moral authority religious leaders and Liberians in general rely on to solve the social, economic, and political issues in Liberia. The Assembly of the LCC under the theme Reconciliation, acknowledging the past, accepting the present, and adjusting for the future with true healing continues this Thursday with Reverend Dr. Fidon Wabike, the General Secretary of All Africa Conference of Churches based in Nairobi, Kenya, expected to deliver the keynote address. Liberia Council of Churches President Reverend Dr. Samuel Reed will also deliver his message to the delegates who are expected to elect new corps of officials to govern the affairs of the council for the next term. The president of the West African Postgraduate College of Nurses and Midwives has appealed to governments in the West African region to assist the institution in constructing its headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria. Dr. Salid Gabbard disclosed that the college has purchased a portion of land in Abuja and needs assistance from governments in the region since international funding has reduced drastically. Dr. Gabbard made the appeal Wednesday at the second day of the 18th biannual general meeting of the West Africa Postgraduate College of Nurses and Midwives taking place in Monrovia. Delivering the keynote speech at the program, or Liberian public health expert Madam Wotsi Gobed-Wea advised a number of recommendations aimed at improving nursing and midwife services in the West African region. Madam Gobed-Wea commended the nurses and midwives, encourage government for more funding, and be scientific in their undertakings. The meeting honored the team collaborating and partnership towards improving quality healthcare in the West African region brought together over 450 delegates from the West African region. Prosecuting lawyers have admitted to Councillor Johnny Momo's claim that his ex-lover Marie Niplo's indictment contained the same avertment of her previous action at the Broadview Magistrate Court, which was dismissed by the court with prejudice to the case. Madam Niplo's lawyer, Councillor Workins Wright, told the court that though the avertments are the same, the charges are different. Councillor Wright argued that his client's previous action was dismissed with prejudice to the state and its border on domestic violence and disorderly conduct, while the indictment charges include theft of property, burglary, and criminal conspiracy, arguing that such application cannot quash his client's indictment. But Councillor Johnny Momo has rejected Councillor Wright's claim, saying Madam Niplo entered a nollie prosequal on March 9, 2024 before the Broadview Magistrate Court with a legal provision to the court not to return, consistent with Chapter 18, Section 18.1 of the Criminal Procedural Law of Liberia. Councillor Momo maintained that her account to the court means that she cannot surface with the same avertment for another litigation. Councillor Momo noted that the reappearance with the same story is a fit subject to quash her criminal indictment as provided by law. Our judicial correspondent said, following both lawyers' claims and counterclaims, Judge Joel Barco has reserved ruling into the matter pending notice of assignment. Out of Liberia now, the bodies of 11 people believed to have been migrants have been found inside a boat washed onto the shores of the Caribbean island of Canard, which forms part of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The identity of those on board remain unclear. A police official said both several passports found at the scenes suggest that they were from Malay, a landlocked country in Western Africa, more than 600,000 kilometers, 388, that's 3,800 miles away. The boat measures 45 feet, 14 meters in height, 12 feet in width, and 6 feet in depth. Was found grounded in Little Bay on Monday. The discovery comes just months after a boat of 13 dead bodies, some of whom also had Malian documents, were found washed ashore in St. Kitts and Nevis. Authorities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines said they were alerted to the boat with the 11 deceased migrants on Monday. To end this newscast, a recap of the top stories we have been following. Action Aid Liberia on Wednesday joined the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection in collaboration with several partners to commemorate World Menstrual Day in Monrovia. The General The Secretary General of the National Patriotic Party has officially distanced the party from the recent statement issued by Councillor the Chairman George Morba and Brockton Dennis in defense of Senator Edwin Snow. The Ministry of Health has officially discharged 4 mpox patients following successful treatment and full recovery. That's RCR News Bulletin at 7.
So this era is abandoned completely. This era is abandoned completely. And the folks at the Ministry of Education will make you believe or to believe that in every nooks and corner, every village or town or villages or chiefdom in our country, education is top notch. But look at it. Look at this structure. I'm smelling feces. Yeah, the stench. This is where our young generation,
good.
the people who are supposed to take the leadership of this country, this is where they
All
come
right.
from.
I think Mr. Kane.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
All
Mr. Kane and Mark and the rest of the team will back after the news bulletin. Let me see how best to remove this. Okay, good. Yeah, so we're back after the news bulletin. I don't know whether you're following the news. If so, what are some of maybe the reactions from the news before we continue?
Yeah, so I was following the news. I'm not a big fan of Edwin Snow, but what you're hearing tells you exactly the mindset of our country. Somebody is in trouble with the current government, okay? But yet, the government is trying to bring down Edwin Snow. And the only reason, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Edwin Snow because they're all corrupt. And he has been one of the political Maradonas in Liberia that failed his people in Montserrat and went to Bomi. And now, because the level of resentment that he's getting from Montserrat, now he's contemplating on going to Rivershurst to run there. However, the recent debacle between the United Party folks and Edwin Snow is simply because they don't want you to talk. They want to silence him. That's the only reason. And Snow, with all the bad record, Snow is still a senator. He has the right to speak his mind on issues. As a matter of fact, he has the right to hold the government officials accountable for not doing what they were appointed to do, because they confirmed government officials. Also, being a part of the opposition, Snow has the right to criticize the government, to hold Joseph Boakai himself accountable. Also, free speech is part of our laws. It's part of the fundamental laws of the country. As a matter of fact, there was a law that just passed not too long ago, I think during Jowea time, that actually gave total freedom to Liberians to express themselves, even though it's already in the Constitution, but nobody should be reprimanded for speaking their mind on issues. But yet, this guy is being hunted by the Liberian government. But guess what? Some officials of his party now went and condemned the government and told the government to stop the witch hunting. That's what you're seeing right now, what we just listened to. Other part of the same political party telling them now the Secretary General writing say whatever they put and say our leader and say the chairman put and say they're not with them say, you know what they're doing that? They do the one job. They want to stay on the side of the government so they can get job, so they can get some money, so they can get some, some leverage within the government. I bet you right now that write-up it was motivated by the government officials calling people that they have some control over, or they can get some money to tell them go and condemn that people there. Because the thing we're trying to do here, if you're not help, or we'll not give you job, we'll not give you money. So the country is just sick. That's something that I actually pick up from the news. For you to for how you call it NPP to NPP Secretary General, for NPP project to be fighting among themselves. Look at James Barney. James Barney was on the rescue team. And a lot of people, believe that James Barney, Yombly, and Prince Moi were the people that actually created this government. They brought people to a point. But guess what? Things are not too well now with James Barney and Joseph Barker people, because he said Joseph Barker does not have the spine to do what is right. So now, Liberia is all about personal egos. It's all about what kind of job you can get. It's all about who you know. Nobody is doing something for the right reason. Shame on NPP Secretary General and all his collaborators for siding with the government to bring one of your own to disgrace, to undermine one of your own, to bring one of your own down. And they're not doing it. The government is not behind this guy for corruption. They are not behind this guy for stealing money. They are not behind this guy for doing anything wrong to the country or to his people, but for speaking out. Liberia, I don't know how far we have to go, but we have a long way to go. We have a very, very long way to go.
Thank you, Mr. Kane, and Mark and that brother Ali will back. And I think there are a few comments. I don't know whether we can look at some of the comments. Let me see. This one from Tony Flex. He said the people believe in their sound winning than their well-being. I don't know what, brother Ali and that Mark. What say you? The people believe their sound winning than their well-being.
Maybe. Mr. Cannon was just reading my mind what I wanted to say. He just said it all. This issue about those guys from the NPP, the Secretary General, that want to say, oh yes, they are not in support of what the chairman said. It's all because they want job. That's all. Right now, this statement that Senator Snow made, and you see the people they running with it saying this and that, they only want to tie that statement to him. The United Party, their aim is to get Senator Snow from ECOWAS right now, where they're saying that he has stayed on there representing Liberia. So he get 2 years or months to still be there, and they want a United Party person to go there. So that's what thing they're doing is to recall him now. This is what they are after. This is the government that want to get seat on the United Nations Security Council. And when you listen to Senator Snow, he outlined all of the failure what this government had done. No respect for rule of law, burning your capital building, taking people from tenure position, all of these things, no respect for Supreme Court. So I think they might not do better. And if I wanted to be a one-term government, today they say he want to undermine the government, he want to do this, the rating ECOWAS, all of these things is to just get him. For now, see now they want to put a United Party person there. This is the whole thing behind the whole snow noise that they causing. And when you see these other people coming, just what I wanted to say, that what Mr. Kanye just said, they want their own job. You see, the last time, the same thing when State Chairman Moluba Molu talk about we the people, John Balu Kimba, he said why they had to use that word, this and that. And I posted on my Facebook page. The idea of self-governance is mentioned in the first 3 words in the Constitution. What are these words? We the people. But not because Balu, he wants job from the government. That's why he's saying that. Because What the guy named Mr. Kane just called his name. Sandro Johnson said anybody calls the president, you will insult them, and the next day the president appointed him. John Balu too why he own a position. Just what I said it happened. And John Balu is going to Arico now and Liberia ambassador. So these people too that the same thing. The government want to get rid of snow. And if somebody can be there to debunk the government statement and other people say we are not part of it, why are they doing it? Because they want job too. So don't be surprised. Sooner or later, you will hear the president give someone a position. The people, they are all after themselves. They have enslaved their conscience, their mind, their everything into politics and those good for nothing people. So that's all. They want their own job. That's why you see the key to debunk what the chairman said. That's just what I wanted to say.
Good. Mark?
Well, I think Sekou Ali said it all. That's how the society was structured right now. You got to be a slave to the system to get something. If you see the lack of Tiaji and the Sandro Johnson that have been there for the longest, will come in defense of the government in exchange for job. Why would you not want to do the same in a country where you don't have job coming by easily? Look, everything about Liberia is structured in a way that it was just meant for failure. At the end of the day, nobody going to stand up for anything. And when you see the people that are hauling and pulling, it's the same 6 and 7. You cannot look. We don't have an example to show. To measure against. Yeah, you want to blame the government, but you look at Snow too. The thing is, I took my position to Aaron Snow. Even though what Snow said is inappropriate, but as an opposition lawmaker, you cannot suppress his free speech. You don't want him saying something like that because of the capacity that he said, but you cannot control what people will say. If this government, that's why I made reference yesterday. I said the last time it was the president's own statement. I said one monkey cannot spoil the show. Those were the exact words Joseph Boaga. But all of a sudden now, one monkey took over the entire airwaves in Liberia. I don't know. Because if I'm the president, if I got my agenda, if I got my clear vision, the statement coming from Snow, he can say whatever he wants. At the end of the day, the president's policy is not going to justify the 6 years he will be there. But at the end, they have nothing. That's why I say they have nothing to offer Melbourne. At the end of the day, every single little distraction will be politicized. Snow has presidential ambition, and it's a game of elimination. They want to get rid of him as quickly as possible, or to kind of break your wing a little bit before getting to 2029. And that's why you see happening like Bureau. It's all about the politics and nothing more than that. Sequence.
Yeah. So I'll move on just to add to what Mon just said. Personally, I don't think Snow said anything inappropriate because, it was, actually reason for people to be rejected or being given or not being given position in Liberia. Just about to say if he doesn't win the election, we're not have a Liberia, we're not have a country. But Joe Baka was elected president. Joe Baka lie every day by disgracing the country. He said millions of dollars equipment was given to him on gentleman agreement. The same United Party people went and took all the bosses in Ghana to bring it, and they were celebrating it. They said they spent a lot of money on it. These were lies. So things that actually affecting the country, it doesn't matter to them. But they just want to find something, anything, just to get rid of people. But I can tell you, the reason why I say I'm giving up on Liberia, let me tell you, things that are supposed to put the whole country on a standstill are happening in Liberia, and nothing that people are doing about it. So at the end of the day, Joseph Boakai and United Party people, even Joseph Boakai is not in the picture. Joseph Boakai and United Party, they will own Liberia. They will own everybody. They will introduce a dictatorial tendency that will take over Liberia, and nobody will be able to stand up and do anything about it. Melbourne, Mong, and Ali, in any country where a president will reject the Supreme Court ruling, reject the Constitution that would have created havoc in the country, of serious popular uprising in the country. In the country, this guy who impersonated in the country for 8 months as Speaker of the House of Representatives and squander. I mean, the guy went took the budget from 2 million to 5 million United States dollars. They stole over 8 millions spending on themselves, and that guy was eventually voted for as Speaker of the House of Representatives in Liberia. If those were any serious country, it would have been a different story. Melbourne, Mong, and Ali, I can tell you, Joseph Nima Bwaka them, they get the executive, they get the legislature, they get the judiciary. The only thing they're not supposed to get, but they are getting it gradually, and they are proving that they have it, is the people. By the time they consolidate their power around the Liberian people, we will not have a country anymore. They will do whatever they want to do. They will destroy Liberia. They will take all the resources for themselves. They will remove everybody from power. They will insert themselves everywhere. Even key positions outside of Liberia, they will take it from everybody. Then at the end of the day, we'll have a dynasty in Liberia, wherein something or form of monarchy in Liberia, wherein Unity Party will own Liberia, they do whatever they want to do, and nothing will happen. And at that point, those who really, really want Liberia, they will stay away. Because that's the kind of country they want to be a part of.
Yes, Mr. Kana, quickly before before we go to the line to interact with our people, yes, indeed. Let me just chip in quickly on what you people were saying, or maybe I've been saying. You know, it is indeed interesting that you live in a country where you want for things to get better, for things to go good, or for things to be good. Then you see that people will suppress it just because they want you to be quiet, and they don't want you to talk about all of the ills in society. And there where we found ourselves. You know, I just listening now to the three of you talking about some of these things, and that's just the fact. We found ourselves now in a society where politicians, people that are supposed to be creating jobs for our people, or people that are supposed to be telling, or maybe those foreigners or so forth, and say, no, the resources that we have, we got to take care of it. The resources for our people are the ones running after jobs, running after appointments. Now, Mr. Kane just said something. So we're going to ask the legislature or the lower house about the burning of the Capitol building. We're going to ask them now. We're going to ask them. So that whole entire area will just be burned, and they're going to put money into the budget, and they're going to rebuild it just like that. And all of our civil society groups, the religious people, all the people that are residing in this country, they are all now being bought. Like you're saying, you're right. Because practically, if you really observe all of these things, now they're speaking out. They are all now into the government. They are all dining and wanting with the government. So because of that, nobody shouldn't talk. When you talk, they see you as maybe people who are can you imagine? Social media is flooded with people against government. People shouldn't talk just because when you talk, they see you as someone who, when you praise the government can succeed. Oh, so are you people forgetting yesterday when one of the fadigans was saying that the past president should die? It means nothing. And nothing. Or are you people forgetting yesterday when Honorable Yaka Koruba and the rest of the team, Prophet Key, all of them, yesterday, Liberia turned into a quasi society yesterday. But today, nobody shouldn't talk. When you talk, that means you are praying so that your country can succeed. What kind of thinking is that? That you get people position to do their work, then they are telling you that you should go on prayer band to go there and pray for them so that they can succeed. If you're not able the people job, turn the job over. Just simple as that. Because all of the people that have been following during the days
of old, or in fact, who God chooses or chose by them, they were not praying, right? They were working. They were doing the work. So, Mr. Kane, it is indeed sad for our society that no matter what you do now, we just talk our own. At the end of the day, let me be frank, people that you least expect, they will cross over and they will lead you right to the riverside. That's the kind of society of ourselves in. Let me be frank. People can no longer bear it. Don't you imagine, Mr. Kane, people that even have homes, that have cars, that are well to do, they are all pretending that they are poor. But again, that's it. So, any other team?
Maybe when you open the line, I got sis Yaya. She want to chime in because she's been on hold forever before you open the line. Let
okay,
her.
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Cyrus, for holding me on, and thank you, Mabel, and the rest of you, Cyrus and Nete Kuseku. I hear your frustration. I think you hear me lately. I'm a little bit calm because I needed to center myself, or you would come for me in the hospital as your wife. But on a serious note, everything Seku said, I concur. Okay, but let me come up with the. I'm not a fan of snow. I don't particularly. He has no moral. Okay, I've talked about snow a lot. He has tried to reconcile, reach out to me, Dr. Richardson. I decided that's not the place I want to be. But I want to say this though, Cyrus, you were with me in DC. Majority of the protests that are initiated, UPS were the one that were behind it. They said they wanted to make sure that George Weah did not go to second term, that he had one term.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Every protest that was in Liberia, they led it. They did not just speak it. They did not just speak it. They acted on it. And that was their entitlement. That was their constitutional entitlement. That was free speech. That was their liberty to assemble no matter they wanted to assemble. We even had at that time in the Papa Jomoe, when Patrol Honda who threatened with guns and all of that. Even when they were arrested or threatened to be arrested, we all got in the street. So if somebody say, I think Cyrus, you spoke to this, if Snow say one day, if at all he said it, what is your agenda? What are your schematics? What are you doing? Why can we start the show? If no matter what somebody say, we change that plan. If you plan to fail, then that would be a problem. But I can wish that the government does not. I mean, I'm hypothetical. I don't want the government to fail, because if it fails, our people are suffering. The suffering comes to us in the U.S., right? But if the man says that he's an opposition, I remember Cummings, the Braka, the Ure, the Yomli Kanga, all of them said this government will be a one-term government. The transcript are out there. UPS were all over social media that George Weah was going to fail. So why is that a problem now that the Constitution does not matter? And say, everything you said, the things that will make people get out and protest and say this is wrong. Liberians are waiting for savior. They want you and myself to get on the plane to go to Liberia. And we have these people backing Henry Costa as he insulted Alexander Cummings, as Prophet King insulted me. In fact, my Jabate said he would put bullet in my head, asking that to the U.S. State Department, okay? And they gave him position. He said he will take down Yeke on and life him, and they gave him a position. And many of them, we saw quite a naked picture all over flashing women on social media. The pictures are out there. They say he to represent Liberia. So what are they talking about? Say, okay, I beg you, I will call you. We can't give up. Okay?
I know, right?
We can't give up. If Martin Luther King had given up, you and I would not be here. If fella outside Randolph, who started the movement, my brother Martin Luther King would not be here. Gandhi almost died in India. Okay? He almost died and he did die. But guess what? India got her independent. So we can't give up, oh man. I want to give up myself. But then where does that leave? When you ask my children tomorrow, where do they have to go? So I beg you. And Cyrus, thank you for raising your voice. You know, I used to be, let me tell you something at your Oma. Okay? So now when you used to say something, I would be mad. But today, it is the reality. We must face our demon in the face and say, this is it. Then we find out how to take it down. Thank you. Melbourne, thank you. You have been very vocal, continue to speak. We have to stand for our people that your video you play with that picture with the children in the interior. They fire the principal, they fire only 2 people in our place are on salary and barely get paid. The rest of the teachers are volunteer. So how do you expect the people to stand up? The Bible says the lack of knowledge, our people perish. Frederick Douglass said, knowledge make a man unfit to be a slave. Our people are slaves because mentally, you and I are able to see this because we are seeing differently, we are learned, we have trouble. Even people in this country who have, they're still listening. Let me stop on people coming. But Liberian people, this is on your. This is on your.
Thank you, Cynthia.
I will stop here. Thank you.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my sister. Let me move to the line to interview our people. Please 1 minute quickly to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening, Devon.
Yes, go ahead, my dear.
And let me say good evening to all of the panelists there. You see, in my own name as David King, member of the opposition, I want this government to fail. I want this government to fail because the government came to power with a slogan. Why is it now that it's so dangerous when you say it to them? So they not say anything. He didn't say we're doing rebel. He said, I don't want it to succeed. So they come and move them. Spoon have the clip. So why are they now making it to look like Snow have said, I'm going to train rebel in Burkina Faso or Guinea to bring to Liberia so Joseph Boakai can say. He did not say that. For Andrew Peter, recharging his statement, yesterday the implement for that statement is not true because the National Identification Registry, he served there at the head.
All right, thank you so much, David King. You start to chat the job to this caller. Good evening. Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
You know the problem, my man. Where I talk about government, we make a part of that. Pray for good thing, good thing happening. But I put parity one side, yeah, look at that blue, my man. They go there and say, oh, more than some selling here, we say, yeah, we want to say, Qatar, but now you know, being as well.
Don't be laughing. So let's call a good evening, my young man. I got my BP. I don't know my BP up.
Hey, but after that caller, I got someone here. I got AB here from New Jersey. But after that caller, I seen the caller already on.
Yes, quickly go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. So can go about the more. Oh, your first one from Grand Bazaar. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you guys for the topic on our discussion. To all those that wishing that we will fall, that we will not succeed. I appreciate that. But you later, I want to ask one question because we all were celebrating yesterday. You said will be silent, you will not talk again. I want you to elaborate on that before the show in, please.
All right, good. So let's go back to Mark when Mark finished. Though you're suppressing press freedom, though you're suppressing people from talking. Maybe. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, Mom.
Yeah, AB, you're live on Sktv. Go ahead, do your thing.
All right.
Oh, maybe I think I lost that caller. He might call back. So pick call from your end. Hello? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I was in.
Let the president from Labrador make a call. AB got more data. He can hold on.
Yes, go ahead, my dear brother. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so thank you. I listened to the David analysis. So permit me to use the platform to appreciate the government for the effort in the campaign for the non-permanent seat at the Security Council at the UN. Form or media outlets have flagged this. Today ends the campaign, and Tuesday will be the elections. So I want to use this opportunity to encourage every Liberian in the diaspora around the world to support Liberia bid for the non-permanent seat at the Security Council. So Tuesday, I will be dressed up in my red, white, and blue. Any Liberians who want to see this country move forward, you can do the same to show a love for country and patriotism, as to see how best the country can move forward.
All right, thank you so much, my brother. So let's call a good evening. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, Mo. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, Abi. Abi, I think you're alive now. Go ahead, Abi.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Long. Let me say good evening to you guys. Sekou, Long, and also Mabel and my dear brother and you. Listen, man, fascinating topic. Sekou, I understand your frustration. And you know, one thing that I'm really happy that it happened on the show today, one of the things anyway, is the fact that my dear sister Cindy came on here to clarify some issues. I'm really happy about it. Reason being, this woman, she was in the forefront of agitation, and rightfully so, of right to do so. With the acquiescence of the very guys that are in power today in Liberia, case in point, Josiah Joker was one of those that read a petition in the former Speaker's office, Nancy Pelosi's office, to sanction Liberian government officials, to strangulate the government in Liberia, the Georgia government. And today he's in Liberia. I bet you, if you ask your senior lady, she'll even tell you that this guy not even talking on the phone or even call her in the United States. I made her do that today. They said, well, we need not to be deterred. This is a Christian democracy. For maybe the younger generation will not understand it. This is more, I know maybe you might have been younger at the time, but the dual government. Although it was a military government, but I judge that this is how it started to strangulate people in that country and then consolidated power in that place. It would not be surprising. Joseph Barker is an offspring of that particular dual government. So he has a system inbuilt in it. This is a calculated price. Don't worry about Edwin Snow. Even the first Musability today, they are strangulating Musability in that place, taking and leaving them the one that even destroy his whole business in our country right now. These people are vicious, and the plan here is to tighten that country, and then everybody fall in line with them. This is no joke. This is nothing small. Like, we need to stand up to this particular thing. This is not democracy. This is Christian dictatorship in our place more, and people need to stand for it. So, Sekou, I beg my brother, the frustration, I can understand it, but this is no time for people to deter. Because United Party, especially the group of United Party people right now, they got no intention of relinquishing power in our country anytime soon. And we will get one party system in our country today. That's the group of guys that you got in that place. This is nothing small to stand about. They want to destroy everyone in that place, even long before the 2029 election comes about. Is at the time that people stand up to this thing.
All right.
There's nothing small. So you get things from down there.
Thanks, Abi. Thanks for calling. Mabon, take over.
Thank you, my dear brother. Let me move straight to the line and interact with our people here in Liberia. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mabon.
Yes, my dear, go ahead.
Yeah, anyway, I'm calling you from Beto Island this evening.
Good.
Yeah, so Mabon, I think when a president is a serious president, I think by now, the information minister there should have been sidelined. It should be fired by now. You know what it means? People saying that the government can lie, and confirming it from the information minister, lying on Robert Snow. You know what it means? The men are really working for the country. The men are representing the country. Inside, outside, coming on and lying on him. The same lie that brought them to power, try to institute it in government. I'm very much discouraged. Seriously, I'm discouraged.
All right, thank you. Thank you to this caller. Good evening.
Hello, Mabon. How are you there?
Well, okay, thank God. Just now we don't feel disappointed with all the Wahala in Liberia, but thank God for life. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm National Governor calling for Funafan. Why I want to say I'm standing by every economic slow. Why you say I'm standing by him? Thank you.
Okay, we stand by the man. To this, hello, to this call. Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, this is General G. I'm calling from Senko.
Thank you for joining us from Senko.
Neighbor, why I would say maybe it will not go down with more Liberia, but that's the plan of the United Party government. If we are not careful, we will go back to the civil crisis, serious war. I don't know where people will limit power. You see what the speaker did, the now speaker. If the man can put iron door to the gate of the capital building and upon a day by it, people are prepared to fight war. I'm calling you Liberian, So now the 2029, we should get ready. There will be no election. We'll go back to another terror crisis. And we're ready for the power. Thank you.
Well, okay, too. Yeah, you 077 with one or two more call quickly. We'll cross over because we'll have our team of panel. We have the team how to respond. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening, Mabel.
Yeah, go ahead, my dear.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sure, Mabel. This is Sarah that this time here. I joined your discussion for Omega Market. The legacy of former president we are. Mabel, this particular government, for the party government, Mabel, these people, when they come to power, they can never promote reconciliation. They always advance.
Well, it's slip off the line to Pascal Davis. Pascal, good evening.
Yeah, Mabel, how you doing?
My brother, okay, too. It's just that when you're on the other side, that means you forget about life. But well,
I know. Well, thank you. Again, we will always say, Mabel, the government needs to be very serious. I hear people here talking about the one security council. I mean, I'm wondering, it is the way you conduct yourself, it is the way you organize yourself, it is the way you carry yourself. These things are not just given on a platform. You have to be mature as a government. I mean, with all that is happening, you have a speaker who is referring to himself as a regime speaker. You have a president who is disrespecting the laws of the country. You have ministers referring to ex-officials of the country as in any form and manner. I mean, how can we as a country want that kind of thing, and we are not conducting ourselves accordingly? So nobody is against progress. Nobody is against the success of the country. Let's always say we want all of us to come and work. We were saying those things yesterday. I mean, that we want people, we want Liberians to come together and put the country forward. They saw it that it was not the case. That's why they protested and asked for sanction against Liberia. We didn't do that. So we are simply saying to them, for you to see the council, you have to be professional.
All right. Thank you so much, Pascal David, Mr. Connor, and that Monk, and that about Ali. We got to go. We are probably about 8 more minutes to go. Then we call it a day here on the show this evening. So I think all of us can use Ali at most, maybe 1 minute, 30 seconds, please, so that we can be in time.
Yeah, so
Okay, yes. Mabel, can you hear me there?
No, I think
yeah,
so.
we can hear you, but you can go ahead, Ali.
Oh, okay, Mr. Kyle, you want to go? You can go ahead.
No, that's okay. You go ahead. I can go after you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thanks to all the callers and those people in the comment section. Yes, Liberia, we pray that we should get a seat. But yeah, as Pascal said last day, what are these things that we're coming to tell the people at Washington? Because we get a government, they don't respect the rule of law, they don't respect constitution, they are witch hunting, the country is heavily divided. The president doesn't care about reconciliation to reconcile the country. So people are looking at Liberia, what we are doing in our country. So he expects these people to say, oh yes, this country, they are really serious for us to give them this seat. We pray that we should get it, but if we get it, I can remember from the beginning of the whole thing, or the former president when he told President Bakai, you want us to go out there, but we need to try and settle our differences back home before we go out there. And people insulted him. You see this thing happening in the country, the information minister will just come out and lie. He will insult former leaders, the deputy information minister. All of these things are happening. And the whole country is just divided. There is no reconciliation in the country. The president doesn't care. Lawlessness. I can say this last time. Any country in the world where the rule of law is totally breaking, that place is not a safe place. Why you think Joseph Boakai has fly all around? One investor cannot step into the country today. These are some of the things because they know Liberia is not safe. People are seeing how the rule of law has been, they respected.
All right, thank you.
We pray to get a seat. So thanks for being here again today. God bless America and God bless Liberia.
Great. Thank you, Brother Ali. Yes. Mr. Khaled?
Yeah, so once again, Mabel, I want to say thank you for everything, and thanks to Ali and Mong. You know, it's just hard to say, But Liberia will change, and Liberia will only change when Liberians across all spectrum get together and fight for our country. You know, some people they just run their mouth in politics. They have no understanding of politics. They don't know how it works. Somebody will say, "Oh, you know, how can Snow be representing the government that he wants the government to feel?" Snow is not representing the Unity Party. Government too is not Unity Party. Get your act together. If you don't understand politics, just be quiet and sit there. Snow or any other representative or senator, they are not representing Unity Party. They are representing Liberia. Okay? So Snow saying that the government of Joe Baka to fail, for Joe Baka to fail, that's his right. That's what he thinks. Because he feels Joe Baka is not up to the task. And they want to come and also remove Joe Baka government. Why do you think they want Joe Baka to succeed? For me personally, I want everybody who mean well for Liberia to succeed. But if you're going to be there to loot our country, I want you to be removed in a split second. What are you talking about? So maybe we don't have enough time. You know, we will be here again tomorrow and moving forward. I can assure Liberian people, the Liberian people, I'm not kind of giving up, but I'm just discouraged by the way our people conducting themselves. But I can assure you, if we don't stand together as a country, we will lose Liberia to these criminals and hoodlums.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kana. Yeah, Mark, we gotta go. What's the
these are some of the contradiction we have in Liberia. You want to come and be a non-permanent or member of the UN Security Council. You can't even grant free speech in your own country. You know, at least Snow, I talk my position on this issue. I'm not a fan of Snow. I would never be a fan of Snow. For the fact that people like Snow can push for the presidency, it means that Liberia is not going anywhere. But equally so, he's entitled to free speech. Equally so, it's his right. At least Snow is magnanimous to believe that Joseph Baka should be given one thing. For me, I don't even want Baka to be even an option for Liberia. But unfortunately, he won an election. If you're not going to give the result, matter of fact, or God like Snow's statement should be a wake-up call to prove Snow wrong. I don't see in any way he's trying to honor any government. If my son inappropriate, he's a sitting senator. But at the end of the day, even in the great US, we can see lawmakers saying, you know what, we want for the president to fail. We want for the president to be a one-term president. We see it every day. It's nothing cynical. That just is political sentiment. But if you are the chief executive, giving all the resources, if you believe there is an arrest agenda, if you believe there is a Kappa Colondo or whatever you keep calling them, then you won't worry about Snow. The only reason you are doing this thing because it's all about the politics as usual, and because I believe you don't have a clear vision. Because a president who is working towards a clear vision and a project to deliver Liberia, he won't be focusing on these unimportant stuff coming from regular people or even a senator making a statement. So yes, Snow is right for saying, I'm not saying he's right for saying that. I take that statement back. But equally so, he's at liberty to say whatsoever he wants. It's up to the president to prove Snow and some of us wrong that he can get his job done and put Liberia in a better place. So, maybe thanks for the show.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thanks to Brother Aliu and other Mr. Karen. Thank you so much for joining us. And folks, to all of our viewers, indeed, this all of the time. I will have you to be here with you. Join us again on tomorrow by the grace of the Almighty God. Maybe on tomorrow we'll go deep into the entire Senator Snow, Wahala, and so forth. But the full bench will be here with us on tomorrow. Yes, again. So again, like Mr. Khan said, Liberia is all we have. Let me be friend, whether we disagree or whether we agree or whether who say what. At the end of the day, Liberia is all we have, and we gotta love Liberia, build Liberia, think Liberia. But you can't corrupt, steal, and you're thinking that other people shouldn't talk, or maybe they have nothing to say into it because you are the one that in power. No, that's wrong. So again, good night to all of you, our dear channel listeners and followers. Mr. Kane, thanks to all of you, and good night. We gotta go. We're already out of time. Good night to all of you.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualify people who willing to serve. Blessing that time and that effort are rest. The process of giving us here is the premise of death. The work of my life without fear.
lyrical healthy.
Master.
Clay body so make on you, I can't Sktv benyo. Say my journey, tina get I say my jamo. And yes I know money, emu aye yo. And you love me, emu aye yo. What is
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
Ena dine ya tumale, ena salia ya tumale, ena kwanagli ya tumale, ena kodubwa ya tumale, ena dine ya tumale, ena salia ya tumale, ena kwanagli ya tumale, ena kodubwa ya tumale, ena nakogi ya tumale, Sktv, ena nakogi ya tosi wako maya tumale.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time, and the efforts are red. The broadcast we giving are real and the premise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather, Nima to Lufa. From Riverside, River G to Chile. From Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, the San to Backwalu. From Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.